Welcome all of you to the online class of biology. We were studying chapter 5 morphology of flowering plants, and in the previous videos we have seen about the flower, inflorescence, etc. Okay, so today we are going to start with the fruits. Okay, so what is a fruit? Fruit is actually the ripened ovary. So I have told you the flowers, female part is having what? Ovary, style and stigma, isn't it? And the ovary, when it matures, will develop into fruit. Clear? And you can see that if the fruit is formed without fertilization or without the fertilization of the ovary, if the fruit is formed, then that kind of fruits are called parthenocarpic fruits. What are they? Parthenocarpic fruits. Okay. And a fruit is having what? A wall and seeds. Okay. So the wall of the fruit is called pericarp. Okay. Pericarp, and they contain what? Seeds. The pericarp or the fruit wall can be dry or fleshy. Okay. Sometimes what the fruit's wall may not be that much fleshy. So whenever you think of a fruit, you will what kind of pictures come to your mind? Like what? Mango, isn't it? Or else what? Banana. All these are fruits. So if the all the fruits may not be fleshy like this. Understood? If the pericarp is thick and fleshy, then you can see that there are different parts of them. Okay, so the outermost layer of the pericarp is called epicarp, then middle mesocarp, and the inner endocarp. Okay, so these are the different parts of a fruit wall called pericarp. Okay, so you can see here the comparison of this different layers in a coconut and what in a mango. Okay, so epicarp. Okay, then mesocarp of coconut is fibrous, and here in mango it is fleshy. Okay, then endocarp will be the inner part. Okay, and just near to the mango seed, if you open the mango seed, you can see that there are cotyledons and embryo, isn't it? So seed will have that. Okay, so just near to the seed you can see the endocarp. Okay, then mesocarp and epicarp, that are the different layers of the pericarp. Okay, then so the mango and coconut are examples of a type of fruit known as drupe. Okay, drupe. What it is? Drupe. And this drupe are developed from where monocarpellary means what? Only one carpel is there, and superior ovary with only one seed. In mango only one seed you can see, isn't it? In each mango fruits. Likewise also in coconut you can see only one seed in that. Okay, that is the coconut. Understood? So like this you can see these are examples of drupe. So drupe is a kind of fruit, okay, that is developed from monocarpellary superior ovary, and they are having only one seed. Okay, so in mango the pericarp you can see that it is it is distinguished into epicarp. Okay, then fleshy middle mesocarp, and inner stony hard endocarp. Okay, that you can see just near to the seed. And in coconut, okay, the mesocarp is fibrous. Okay, fibrous. And then we are going to study about the seeds. Okay, the seed is formed from the ovules. Okay, so we have studied that in a flower the pistil contains what, or the carpel contains what? Ovary, style and stigma. The ovary will develop into fruit, and the ovules in them after fertilization get developed into seeds. Okay, so a seed is made up of a seed coat and an embryo. Okay, and embryo is having what? Radicle, an embryonal axis, okay, and one or two cotyledons. Okay, so these are the parts of what? The seed. Okay, seed contains what? Seed contains seed coat and embryo. Embryo's parts are what? Radicle. Okay, the embryonal axis and okay, one or two cotyledons. Okay, so let's see what are the parts of the seed coat. Okay, the outermost covering of the seed is the seed coat, and it is having two layers. What are they? The outer testa and the inner tegumen. Testa and tegumens are what? The parts of seed coat. Okay, so what are the layers of seed coat? Testa and tegumen. Okay, testa is the outer layer and tegumen is the inner layer. And if you see a pea seed, you can see that a scar, okay, on the seed coat, through which the developing seeds are attached to the fruit. Okay, so if you just see any of the seeds, pea seeds, you can see that from the actually the peas fruit is a kind of pod. So if you just open a muttar or whatever it is, peas one, you can see that the seeds are attached to the fruit through a small structure, okay, or through a small stalk like structure, that is the placenta, and there is one scar, okay, on the seed through which the developing seeds are attached to the fruit. That scar is known as hilum. Okay, hilum. And above the hilum there will be a small pore that is known as micropyle. Okay, so through micropyle is what? The small pore in the seed, okay, through which the pollen grains, after pollination, what it does, it grows through the style and reaches to the ovule and enters into the ovule, isn't it? So this, through this micropyle only what happens, the pollen tube enters. Okay, so that region is known as what? That pore is known as what? Micropyle. Okay, micropyle. So in the seed coat there will be embryo, and embryo if you see, you can see that it will have the embryonal axis, okay, and the cotyledons. Okay, so if you see a groundnut seed, if you open and see, you can see, or else if you open the cashew nuts, okay, how it comes, actually the edible part is what? The cotyledons. Two cotyledons you can see, and in between there will be an embryonal axis. Okay, so the embryonal axis is having a plumule. Okay, plumule, the top part of the embryonal axis is called what? The plumule, and the lower part is known as the radicle. Okay, and this will be the cotyledons. Cotyledons function is what? They store the food materials till the embryonal axis. Okay, you know that radicle will give rise to roots later, and plumules will give rise to shoot system. Okay, so when you sow a seed, you can see that the radicals will develop into roots and plumule will give rise to shoot system. So till the roots are well established and will be able to absorb the nutrients and minerals from the soil, and till the leaves are able to do photosynthesis, still that the plant need or the embryo need to grow, isn't it? So that till that time the food is given by the food stored in the cotyledon. So the function of cotyledon is what? They store the reserve food materials, okay, till the embryo establishes itself. Okay, the embryonal axis develop into what? The roots and the shoot system, till that they give the nourishment. Understood? Then next you can see that in some seeds such as castor seeds, or in almost the monocotyledon seeds. Okay, monocotyledon seeds are also are not having what? Two cotyledons, they are having only one cotyledons, isn't it? So this type of seeds, they have what? A tissue called endosperm. Okay, what is it? Endosperm. These are actually formed by the triple fusion. Triple fusion you will study in next year. Okay, that is the one of the male gamete that is released from the pollen grain will fuse with two cells. Okay, two haploid cells of the embryo sac. that is present inside the ovule. Okay, in detail you will study in the next year. And then for what 2 times actually fertilization takes place in angiosperms. Okay, so this double fertilization or triple fusion. Okay, in detail you will study that in the next year. I told in short, I told pollen grains will produce 2 male gametes. One of that will fertilize the egg cell, and the other will fertilize another cell in the embryo sac known as the secondary nucleus and form a triploid cell. Okay, cell with 3 set of chromosomes. Understood? And this cell, that triploid cell, will develop into the endosperm. Okay, so endosperm's function is what? It gives nourishment to the embryo. Okay, so till the formation of all this what parts like what cotyledons, radicle, etc., the zygote should develop, isn't it? Zygote is only forming all these parts like what radicle, plumule, cotyledons, all this. So zygote has to divide continuously and form all these parts. So till that endosperm is giving the nourishment. Understood? So in most of the seeds, by the time the seeds are formed, the endosperm formed will be completely utilized. But in some plants like what castor, or in many of the monocots, okay, they retain the endosperm. Okay, so in plants such as beans, gram, okay, and pea, the endosperm is not present in mature seeds, and such type of seeds are called non-endospermous seeds. What are they? Non-endospermous seeds. Is it clear? Non-endospermous seeds means what? They are not having any left out endosperms. Okay, endosperm is already utilized for the development of this embryo. Understood? So actually zygote is formed after the fusion of the male gamete, which is produced by the pollen grain, and the female gamete, isn't it? So this zygote only develops into this embryo. So till that the nourishment is given by the endosperm, and in most of the plants the endosperm will be utilized. No endosperm will be left out. So such kind of seeds are called what? Non-endospermous seeds. Is it clear? And the seeds which are having the endosperm with them, little bit will be remained in them, and in most of the monocot seeds the endosperm is remaining. Okay, so that type of seeds where the endosperm is present are called what? Endospermous seeds or albuminous seeds. Okay, albuminous seeds. Clear? So I told most of the monocotyledonous seeds are endospermic. Okay, means what? They are having endosperms left out with them. Okay, so some exceptions are there. For example, orchids. Have you heard about orchids? Orchids are monocots, but still they are non-endospermic. Castor seed, I told now. Castor is actually dicotyledon, but it is a endospermic seed. Okay, so these are exceptions. So if you see the structure of a maize seed or a monocot seed, the seed coat is very thin and membranous, and you can see that they are fused with the fruit wall. Okay, fruit wall and the membranous seed coat, they are well fused. Okay, then the endosperm will be bulky, and that stores the food. Okay, stores the food. Then you can see that the outer covering of endosperm, okay, separates the embryo by a proteinaceous layer, and that is known as alluren layer. Okay, so alluren layer, you can see that here, alluren layer that separates, okay, that separates the, can you see here, this layer? Okay, alluren layer separates the, you can see here, alluren layer that separates the endosperm, okay, from the what? From the cotyledon. Okay, the monocot seeds are having only one cotyledon, isn't it? And this alluren layer, what is alluren layer? That is the proteinaceous layer that separates the embryo, that separates the embryo is called what? Alluren layer. Okay, the outer covering of endosperm separates the embryo by a proteinaceous layer. So this layer is separating the embryo, okay, from what? The endosperm. That is called what? Alluren layer. And the embryo, you can see that they are very small and situated in a groove at one end of the endosperm. Okay, you can see in this will be the large endosperm, and in its one's end you can see the what? The embryo. Okay, and you can see that it contains large and a shield shaped cotyledon. Only one cotyledon will be there, and that will be large and shield shaped, and that cotyledon, single cotyledon of monocot seeds are called scutellum. Okay, what it is? Scutellum. Okay, and you can see that this what? Scutellum, in the scutellum you can see a small embryo with plumule and radicle. Okay, this is the plumule and this is the radicle. Okay, plumule and this is the radicle, okay, in one side. And you can see that radicle is protected by a sheath like structure known as coleorhiza, and you can see the plumule is protected, or it is covered by a sheath like structure known as coleoptile. Okay, coleoptile and coleorhiza. So this is the structure of a monocot seed. Okay, so if you see a rice seed, or what if you see a wheat seed, you can see the structures. Okay, it is having a seed coat which is membranous and it is fused with the fruit wall. Then you can see that a large endosperm, that is actually, what is the importance of this? This forms the food material for us, isn't it? In rice grains or in wheat grains, this forms the major food material for us. Okay, that's what we are eating, this rice grains or wheat grain. They store the carbohydrates in them. Understood? So endosperm will be there, and it is protected or separated from the embryo by a proteinaceous layer that is known as alluren layer. Then you can see a single cotyledon. That cotyledon is known as scutellum, and in scutellum there is embryo which is having a plumule and a radicle, and the radicle is protected by a sheath like structure known as coleorhiza, and the plumule is protected by a sheath like substance known as called coleoptile. Okay, so these are the different parts of the monocot seed. Okay, so monocot seed, this diagram you have to practice. Okay, this diagram is important, you have to practice this, and then you have to practice this is a kind of this is the structure of a the dicot seed. This also you have to draw. Okay, having cotyledons, embryonal axis, plumule and radicle. Okay, and this is the diagram of a monocot seed. Okay, having all these parts. What are the different parts? The seed coat and fruit wall. Okay, then alluren layer, then endosperm, then scutellum, coleoptile, plumule, radicle and coleorhiza. Okay, so today what we have studied is the structure of fruit. Okay, fruits. Then the structure of dicot seed and monocot seed. Okay, so this you have to learn properly. Okay, what do you mean by parthenocarpic fruit? If the fruit is produced without fertilization of the ovary, then it is known as parthenocarpic fruits, isn't it? And what are what is this? What is pericarp? The fruit's wall is known as pericarp, and if it is fleshy and fleshy and thick, it is differentiated into different layers known as epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp, isn't it? Then we have studied the structure of a seed. Seed's coat is having the two layers. What are they? Testa and tegumen. What is xylem? The scare on the seed coat through which the developing seeds were attached to the fruit. Okay, and through this only just above the xylem you can see a small pore called micropyle. Okay, Then endosperm is what? The nutritive tissue which is formed as a result of double fertilization, and it is a food storing tissue. Okay, and the seeds which are having endosperms in them are known as endospermous seeds or albuminous seeds, and those which are not having are known as non-endospermous or non-exalbuminous seeds. Okay, then I told you about the different the structure of monocot seed. Okay, so do you remember what is scutellum? The single cotyledon of monocot seed is called what? Scutellum. Okay, so then the different parts and the diagram also is important. So please practice all this, and we'll continue in the next class. Thank you.